Hi, Fred.
How we doing?
This is Jose. How are you?
Very good.
Welcome to Mexico and to the Levi's House of Strauss. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to this video press conference. Actually, you are Federico Anthony Warner. You are almost Mexican.
I actually am Mexican. I have Mexican descent in me, so Mexican Panamanian.
Perfect. So we are very pleased to have you here. So please, we're friends of the press. Let's start the questions. Fred, can you give us your statement? How you feeling about this announcement of the 49ers playing here in Mexico City?
Yes, very excited. I think the whole team is excited. Our whole organization, the ability to come to Mexico and play in front of one of the greatest fan bases in the world. I know there's a lot of love for the Niners out there, and I'm personally really excited to get out there and play a great game against a great opponent. It's always a great matchup between us and the Cardinals, and I know it'll be the same for our game in Mexico.
Perfect. So let's start with the questions.
Hi, Fred, Diego Lozano from Primero Diez. Having Mexican roots, what does it mean for you to play here in Mexico City against a divisional rival in front of 85,000 people?
It means a ton. I take great pride in in playing in Mexico, being of Latin descent, Mexican descent. I think the Cardinals are, like I said, it's always a great matchup. They have an outstanding team. It's always a battle between us every time I played against them. So I think this game will be no different.
Hey Fred, how you doing? Ricardo Vaquier from Medio Tiempo. Well, since you have Mexican heritage, you may very well known with Azteca Stadium. What is it that you've heard about that place? Anything in particular you know about the Azteca Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly new to me. I just heard about a little bit of it. I did hear that it's a very big stadium. Like the previous one mentioned, 85,000, very big stadium, lots of fans. I love playing in venues like that where lots of fans screaming their head off, and it's just a fun atmosphere to play in. And so I'm really looking forward to it.
Hi, Fred. Alejandro Zúñiga from Grupo Imagen. What What's your opinion about the Mexican fans? I mean, it's a country to love this sport, the football.
Oh yeah, I think I personally I think it's going to be really exciting to play in front of the Mexican fans. I know there's a lot of love on both sides. I think there's a huge 49er fan base in Mexico from what I've been told. So I know there's going to be a lot of the 49er red in the in the stands. I know there's Cardinal red, but a lot of 49er red out there. And I think just the passion and the love. I think it just makes for a perfect situation, perfect type of game that I for sure would want to play in. I know the rest of the team is very excited to play in.
Hi, Fred. This is Katia Lopez from El Heraldo de Mexico. I would like to know, even if you are not going to stay so longer in our country, what would you like to do in Mexico City?
See, I wish we had more time, so I could see more. I've always talked about how I wanted to see like the real heart of Mexico City, and just kind of just integrate myself with the people and just learn about the culture a little more, learn about where my ancestors come from. But since the game, well, obviously when the game comes, the complete focus will have to be on the Cardinals, but at some point I'm going to get down there and really get into the culture and learn more.
Hey, Fred, this is Daniel Schwartzman. Thanks for your time. How are you doing?
I'm great. Appreciate it.
Fred, you were very young when the first time came the Niners to play the first game outside the USA. You were like 10 or 9 or 10 years old, maybe. You remember anything about that game? Or what do you know about this game? And do you think the next game will be like a rematch, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize that I don't remember much about it, obviously being so young. I do know the Cardinals and Niners have played in Mexico City before. And yeah, I guess you could say that it's sort of a rematch. I mean, we play each other twice a year, so I mean that matchup's always going to be there. But I mean the fact that we both get to play again, in Mexico City, that's really exciting. So it's gonna be a really fun, explosive game.
Hey, Fred. This is Rodrigo Tobar from Fox Sports Mexico. What have you heard about Alfredo Gutierrez, this Mexican guy who is now playing in your team, and he wants to make it to the preseason at least?
Yeah, me and Alfredo, we become great friends. I think Alfredo, when he first came in, was just trying to get himself acclimated with the team, just like any new player would. And the thing I've seen from Alfredo day in and day out is how hard he works. I think he's done a tremendous job of just working his tail off, trying to get acclimated and get with the team. And I think he's just going to continue to get better. I'm really great friends with him, so we're always just kind of joking around with each other in the locker room. But that's my guy for sure.
Cool, nice to hear that. And I have another question. What's your opinion about you're playing one day before Mexico's national team? Speaking about soccer, is going to make his debut in the Qatar FIFA World Cup.
Say that last part of that question.
Yeah, Mexico's national team, soccer
Mhm.
national team, is making his debut
Yep.
there in Qatar in the FIFA World Cup. What's your opinion about it? I mean, in terms of the fan base or in terms of rating on TV?
Oh yeah. Well, obviously that's a huge honor to be playing. Around the same time that they're playing. I know that's obviously a big deal. The real football, in Mexico, that's the sport over there. So, we're just excited to kind of just get out there and to experience that. That to me, it's just a huge honor just to even be involved in the Mexican culture and be over there to play in Azteca Stadium. I'm really excited about it. I know the TV ratings, like you mentioned, I'm not sure like how it'll turn out, but I hope it's good, and so just really excited.
Hi, Fred. Marcelino Fernandez del Castillo from ESPN Mexico. It is something special for you or for the organization to play again versus Cardinals in Azteca Stadium. That was the first official game of the NFL outside the USA. So it's something special. That did you have a think about it, or the organization have something special for that?
Yeah, that's actually that's interesting. That's really cool. I didn't realize that the first international game was that matchup between the Cardinals and the Niners back in 2005. But I think it it's only fitting that we have that same type of matchup, that same rematch that we had from back then, this year. And it is very special to me, special, like you said, to the organization. And we're going to make sure we prepare extra hard, for that game. And because we want to make sure we put on the right showing, for the Mexican fans.
And one for me, how is like to play outside the USA in an NFL regular season game? I don't know if you were play outside the US before, but how is like? What is the atmosphere? Is the feeling of the players to play outside the USA?
So personally, I haven't actually had the chance to play outside of the U.S. yet. So this will be my first time, which makes it even that much more special. I think the key in any game, whether it's in the States or out of the States, is to kind of stay with your routine, right? You want to make sure that you're preparing the same way that you would prepare for any other week. And, I think that gives you the best chance to perform at your best on Sunday. And when you put your best performance out there, then only good things can happen in terms of putting on the right game, putting on the right performance for the fans.
Hey, Fred, again, Ricardo Baquier from Medio Tiempo. I'm just curious, you were talking about Alfredo Gutierrez, you were talking about the Mexican national soccer team, but you've heard about any Mexican athlete who you think he's actually like at the elite of his sports? Any Mexican athlete you know?
I don't, there aren't any. I mean, I wouldn't say I don't know personally. I would love to, if you know any, if anybody knows any, I would love to hear, because that's something that I mean, I take great pride in having, that Latin descent, the Mexican descent in me, being, where I'm at in my career. And, but yeah, I mean, I would obviously love to
Or
hear.
any Mexican athlete you've heard about who's right now like at the top of its game in any sports?
Well, I mean, in football, I know I actually came out with Will Hernandez, who will be playing on the Cardinals side of the game. He's one of the top guards that I know of in the NFL, and so yeah,
Okay.
yeah, obviously, I'm football. I'm this football. I'm not the other one. So that's how I know. I know Will. So
Okay, great, Fred. Thanks.
yep.
Diego Lozano from Primero y 10 again. Fred, what can people expect from you, from one of the best linebackers in coverage in a stadium that has never seen you? What can people expect seeing a great linebacker in coverage specifically?
Yeah. I think for me, the thing that people can expect out of me is I always play all out every game, every snap. I play with a lot of passion. And so, when you see me out there, you're going to see lots of screaming, you're going to see lots of fist pumps and all types of stuff. So, I'll let my game do the talking in terms of, what I do on the field, but I can always speak to how I play the game. And that's just always 110%.
Hi, Fred. This is Saul Cano from Diario Deportivo Record. We all know that you put a lot of intensity of every single play, every single snap. And how could the Mexican people boost this intensity from Fred Warner?
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the best parts about the game, and what I'm looking forward to most is I know just from seeing, just from hearing, about how the Mexican fans are just so into any sporting event. It could be soccer, it could be our sport of football, it could be anything. And I think just being able to feed off that energy back and forth between me and the fans, that's what I love. I think that's that's one of the greatest things about professional sports is feeding off the fans. That's something that we missed back in 2020 when we didn't have it. So last season, having the fans back was awesome. And I'm looking forward to that again this season, obviously in Mexico.
Ok, ¿alguien más que guste preguntar? ¿No? Ok. Sí, si quieren que traduzcamos alguna pregunta, con toda confianza, ¿no? Probably a last question. Altitude issues in Mexico City. Have you ever heard about this situation, and how can you prepare in just 1 week to play in an altitude city?
Oh yes. So I did hear that the elevation is much higher in Mexico. I actually played in college in Utah where the elevation was higher. I'm not sure what the difference is, and obviously in Denver, Colorado, it's pretty high elevation as well. So with something like that, there's no real, I don't think there's a specific way that you can prepare yourself other than just being in that altitude and training in that altitude. But, you just got to make sure that like right now, for example, like when you're training, you got to make sure you're in tip top shape for the season, right? You got to make sure that you're getting as aerobically in shape to be able to run for a long time and do what you need to do to perform at your best.
Fred, one last time. Ricardo, I promise you this is the last one. Who's the greatest 49er of all time? Because I mean, that is a franchise with such historic players as Joe Montana, as Steve Young, Jerry Rice. I mean, a lot of people. Who do you think is the greatest of all time?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. You know, I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings no matter who I say, but
Let's make Worth the last question.
yeah. You know, I think growing up, and any kid, it's always the best when you catch a touchdown or when you score a touchdown. So I think one of the greatest receivers of all time, one of the greatest football players of all time is Jerry Rice. I've had the pleasure of meeting him several times while being here with the Niners. And, you know, obviously there's other players I look up to. You know, this is a great organization, lots of rich history of linebacker play, Pat Willis, Navarro Bowman, you know, to name a couple. So I could ramble on names all day, but you know, it's a great organization to be a part of. I'm very blessed and proud to be a Niner.
Thanks for your time, man.
Yep. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Fred, just two more questions. You cannot see me, but I see you.
Yeah, I see you. Yep.
Okay. What's the feeling inside the organization about this Debo Samuel saga? What you can tell us about this?
The feeling is a lot of excitement. You know, I think for a majority of the players, I can't speak for everyone, but I think a lot of the players, we have a very young team, so a lot of players haven't played outside of the U.S. So this is a new experience for everyone, and I think just knowing and hearing about the Mexican fans and being able to play in front of them, the intensity, the passion that they have, we also play with that same type of intensity and passion. So I think it's just going to be a perfect mix, and you know, I'm personally really excited about it.
Perfect. And the last one, what's the expectations of the team on this next season? Is this the revenge tour finally?
He said the revenge tour. You know, I don't think I don't think it's I wouldn't call it a revenge tour. You know, I know that was kind of the thing that people talked about coming off of that Super Bowl loss we had, but now I think every season, it's always everyone starts at ground zero, you know, and you got to build your way up, and nothing's given to you. It's a whole new season. You got to go out, you got to prove yourself every year. You know, and so that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to working as hard as we ever have, you know, this off season, and making sure we're our best selves come game one and through the rest of the season. So
Perfect. So thank you very much for your time, Fred. We're eager to see you in November here in Mexico. So go Niners. Thank you.
yes, sir. Go Niners.
Bye-bye.